You put your concealer on in the morning, and then 2 hours later you look in the mirror and it's not even where you placed it just 2 hours ago. Well, that's what we're talking about today is concealer. And when you put it on, does it stay in place? Does it crease? Does it slide? Does it show texture? I have two concealers here and we are going to put them to the test. I'm going to apply one on one side, one on the other, and then you and I are going to decide which one is best for mature skin. Hi everyone, my name is Kimberly. Let's get started. Now the two concealers I have for us today are at the drugstore. They're very affordable and I've been wearing them independently, but I thought we would put them head to head today and see which one really works best on mature skin. I have nothing on my face except for I did put a toner on and under eye cream. I have my eyes done, but there is no foundation, no concealer, nothing on my face because I wanted us to really get a true depiction of how these perform on the skin with no foundation underneath. All right, let's get started. Now the first one is by Maybelline. It's from that new Lifter foundation collection, and that foundation is marvelous. And when I combine the two together, it looks terrific, but let's see what happens by itself. So what I'm going to do is apply two dots. That's all I'm going to apply. And I ordinarily don't put concealer around the entire underneath of my eyes, but for this test, I'm going to. And we are going to check in at 2, 4, and 6 hours. And if I can make it, we'll even try 8. All right, now this is a fairly new product. And when I wear this, I love it. But I always have it on top of foundation. I put my concealer on top of my foundation. How do you apply your concealer? Do you put it on under or over? Let me know. Now I have to put mine over, and I ordinarily only go on the outer up here to blend my shadow, and then I take it here on the inside. But for our test today, let's do the whole thing. Instead of only using the concealers under our eyes, how about we use it strategically on other places, and that way we can see how it wears there as well. All right, I have this little red dot here. I'm going to conceal there, and I have a little bit of melasma around my mouth. So let's do that too. And I'm staying only on this side with the lifter. My goodness, this now, as you can see, you can still see that red dot through there. So I scrape myself with something in the kitchen. All right, and let's do around my mouth. And I'm trying to blend it in. And I'm doing the whole eye. Okay, I think that's sufficient. But by itself, even right now, it's not covering that little red dot where I scrape myself. All right, that is the Maybelline, and this is number 15 for color reference. Now let's move on to the next one who we are putting it up against, and it is none other than the L'Oreal True Match. Now this is in the color W3. Now when I wear this one, it's like silk going on the skin, but that's not by itself. So let's take a look. I'm going to apply some on my hand. This is what the doe foot looks like. And these products, when you put it with the proper foundation, it blends like one. But again, this is giving it a test of how it looks by itself. All right, this is how this product looks. It's such a nice color, and this one is much thinner, I have to tell you, as opposed to the Lifter. The Lifter was a lot thicker than the L'Oreal. All right, here I go. I've got my one finger. I'm going to place inner corner, outer corner, my two dots. I'm going to start with that, and then I'm going to move it all the way around. Now, right now, I can tell you that on bare skin, this feels much lighter on application. Upon application, this feels much different than the Maybelline. And again, I would have never noticed this because I always have something on underneath it. So this is great fun. All right, that is enough. I might put just a little more for the sake of this test. So I'm adding just a little bit more, and that way I can also put it around my mouth as well. So I'm going to add a little bit more here, and that way we can really tell. And I'm just going to be working around the house today, doing some cooking and cleaning, and I will come back in 2 hours and we will take a look, and I will come back at the 4 and so on. Now let's do my mouth where I have this discoloration here. And I'm going to drink and eat normal, and we will see together if this wears off. Now, share in the comments, what are your favorite concealers that you have been liking lately from the drugstore or from anywhere? All right, I have this around my eye. I have it around my mouth. And there we are. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you right now. I'm going to go start my cooking and my cleaning. I will check back with you in 2 hours. I'll see you in a bit. Hi everyone, I'm back. Now we are taking a 2-hour check-in, and I have been cleaning a bit, a little bit sweaty, and again I have no powder. I had my eyes done. And I actually wanted to tell you that I did have on some eyeliner on the bottom, and I did that specifically because I want to see if this makes my eyeliner smear and all that jazz. So here's our 2-hour check-in. I am going to go from side to side. Now here is the Maybelline. Here's the L'Oreal True Match. What do you think? All right, I'm going to go for now. I'm going to pop around the kitchen in the house, and I'll be back at the 4-hour mark, and we're going to see if we notice a difference. I'll see you then. Hi everyone, I'm back. We're doing a 6-hour check. Let's look at the Maybelline. Do you notice any differences? Here's the L'Oreal True Match. I'm going to smile big. Any settling, creasing? As far as I see, and I looked in the mirror before I sat back down with you, and for what I have noticed is that the L'Oreal has really disappeared off my darkness here around my mouth. On the Maybelline side, it's still got coverage. It still is there. Not as prominent as when we initially applied it, of course, but it's holding up. And this red dot where I scratched myself, it has not faded away. And so that is impressive. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make a conclusion now because I can't make it back for an 8-hour check-in. So we're going to stop at the 6. But this has been awesome because looking at these two concealers, the Maybelline Lifter on this side, on my right side, and looking at the L'Oreal on my left, I'm seeing that underneath my eyes with only eye cream underneath, they have both stayed very well under my eyes. My eyeliner, I use the CoverGirl Gel Glide. I'll put it in the description for you, but it's a gel eyeliner, and on either eye, and I've been in a hot kitchen, it did not smear my eyeliner. That in itself is impressive. It has not creased around my crow's feet. the red dot isn't any brighter. So the coverage on the Maybelline is terrific because it didn't fade away. It didn't go into my crow's feet. It didn't slide. And it's not emphasizing texture. I have so much puffiness under my eyes. And right now, it's not emphasizing it at all. And around my mouth, the Maybelline held up much better as far as what I can see. What do you see? Which one do you think looks better at the 6-hour mark? Now, as far as the L'Oreal over here on my left side, around the eye looks the same to me. It hasn't moved, it hasn't settled, and same thing about around my mouth. I put it really close to this deep line here in my mouth, and it's not settled in there. Now, if I had on foundation, that might be a different story, because ordinarily I apply my concealer over foundation, and maybe that's why it has a tendency to slide into this deep crevice I have right here. But by itself, the L'Oreal didn't go into the crevice, but this did fade away on my hyperpigmentation. That's what I'm noticing. That's really the only difference that I see, because this is a much thinner consistency. So if you like something super light on your skin, this L'Oreal True Match is outstanding because it's light as a feather and it feels like silk on your skin. It's very almost bouncy application when you put it on initially. And this was much thicker, and it was evident when I put this on. It had more consistency to it, a thicker bodied product. And around my mouth, it didn't move from the demarcation, and my dot isn't see-through. So in other words, this is much more durable for eating, drinking, sweating. This is more of a satin finish. This is more coverage. So that is what I see when I am comparing these two products, because I have used some very expensive concealers, and in an hour they have slid off my face. They've gone into every line around my eyes and around my mouth, wherever I place them. And these are two affordable, very affordable products from the drugstore that are on the mark. So if you're trying to save some money and have a great performance product, these two concealers can't be beat. Thank you very much for stopping by. This was an amazing test because I wanted to see how they really worked with you with nothing else but the concealer itself. If you've got anything else you want me to review for you, let me know. And if you enjoyed this video today, please consider giving it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And subscribe to Ageless, and we can see each other and do makeup together, talk makeup, put on makeup together all the time. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.